Hi, my name's Andrew Buchanan, CEO and founder of Future Consulting. We help companies define their sales strategy, grow their business to secure their future. We use three key pillars: define, engage, and train. And today is another one of our videos looking back at 2020 and how it affected businesses in the UK. And it's great to have with me today Bruce McKinnon, award-winning author of the book What's Your Point? And brand strategist. Bruce, great to have you with us today.
It's great to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
So, Bruce, tell me a bit about what you do and what it is you do for your customers.
Well, I'm a brand strategist, and that means I help clients to be able to define the point of their brand, because every brand needs a point, a sharp definition of its focus that's going to stick in the minds of customers. But that means making a choice about what that one point is. And my experience is that clients find this very hard to do. I know this because when I ask a client to give me a sentence that defines their business, they always say the same thing. It's very difficult to do. It depends on the customer. It depends on the audience we're focusing on, the product we're pushing, the territory we're in, the campaign we're running. And all those are very sound reasons. But the job of a brand strategy is to be able to kind of corral all the different parts of your business and to be able to present it in a way that's cohesive and directional. So that was a problem that I identified. And to help clients to be able to solve that problem, I developed something called the Brand Arrow Framework. And it's very simply a framework to help clients make good choices about what their brand stands for, and therefore to be able to define their point. And I've run my business now for 11 years, worked across the North America, Europe, and I've run our Brand Arrow Framework through around 70 clients or so. And a couple of years ago, I decided it was time to sort of stop talking and start writing. And so I put everything I'd learned about the framework into a book called What's Your Point?
So what you're saying there, Bruce, is actually there's probably a load of companies out there doing okay, reasonably well, maybe not well. And actually one of their key problems is they probably can't actually define what the point of their business is in a succinct way that someone's going to understand.
Yeah, it's not that clients, the clients I work with, they're all bright, successful people. It's more about the choice you make about what that one point is. And if I said to a client, list the 5 things about your company that are great, I wouldn't have a business because they've got that down to a pat. But if I say, what's the one thing? And that's the tough thing. I call it the tyranny of the first. There always has to be a first thing.
Yeah.
There always has to be a first deck on the chart. There has to be a first message on your homepage. You know, the opening line in your elevator pitch, by the way, which is still going strong. The fact, even though we're not actually in elevators these days. So you have to choose what is that. What is your point? It doesn't mean that you can't talk about the other aspects of your business, but there needs to be a hierarchy, and that hierarchy has to start with the most important part of your business.
There'll be lots of people watching this suddenly thinking, I wonder what my one sentence is, which is a good thing. So Bruce, COVID 2020, yeah, none of us anticipated that. How did that mean you had to perhaps define or redefine your approach and your strategy?
Well, it's a really good question. And I have had to do quite a lot to respond to COVID. I mean, the biggest challenge for me as a business is sales. Because brand strategy isn't something that you do on a regular basis, and nor should it be. It's something that you do maybe once every 5 to 7 years, and so you can imagine that. Therefore, I'm always having to look for new clients, and I'm not. I'm a brand strategist. I sell because, of course, I have to put food on the table, but it's not my passion. It's not my first love. And so the idea of the book was to help me do that selling, to be, a calling card, to give me credibility. And so 2019, I took 5 months out of my business to write the book, and another 5 months working with my publisher to, to publish it, to get all my sales channels up, et cetera. And the idea was to use the book, particularly to help me get invited to business networks, professional bodies, conferences, to speak about brand strategy, and then to get referrals from that. So that was kind of my new business strategy, and it was working brilliantly up till about the 20th of March, 2020. I just got 4 new clients, and all the work was about to start in April. COVID hit, and all that work was cancelled or postponed anyway. And so it was difficult for me because my entire strategy had come off the rails. So I had to pivot. I had to think of a different way of being able to engage with customers. And I did that by basically doing 2 things. 1, I reduced my prices significantly. And 2, I increased the ability and capacity of people to engage with me. So I created a set of online services that were very, very reasonably priced. And that got me busy. And I did around half a dozen of these projects. And during that period of time, Andy, sort of April, May, June, when the business world kind of worked out, actually, the world isn't coming to a complete standstill. All my other business kind of came back. So in the end, 2020 has been, for me, I'm very fortunate to say, it's been a good year financially.
So that's great. So what you're saying is really you had to adapt what you had and cut your cloth accordingly to turn it into something that was more accessible. Well, people decided, okay, where's this going? And then once we worked our way through, in effect, your core came back. I mean, I think lots of people watching this are going to be thinking, certainly to your point, what is your point? So that has been fantastic, Bruce. It's been great talking to you today. Thank you for watching. If you want to get in touch with Bruce, do so on LinkedIn. I'll also put a link in this post to he's speaking at the Chartered Institute of Marketing around Every Brand Needs a Point. It's a free webinar. I'd suggest you go to it and sign up and watch it. Or you can get in touch with me via LinkedIn if you need any help with definition, your sales strategy, or anything to do with sales. And as always, thanks for watching.